Welcome back, friends. Let's solve this equation together. It says x multiplied by x multiplied by x plus x is equal to 10. How do we solve this? First of all, let's multiply this out. Okay, x times x is x squared, and x times x is x squared. If I add x squared times x, I have x cubed. So I have x cubed plus x is equal to 10. Now, at this point, I can choose to bring everything to the left-hand side. Now, I can write this as x cubed plus x minus 10 is equal to 0. At this juncture, you can see that I have x cubed and x, and then I have 10. I have a reducing trend in the power of x, and what's missing here is x squared. Okay, so I have x cubed. I don't have anything in x squared, but I have x, and then I have x raised to power 0, which is invisibly here. Now, I can choose to rewrite this as x cubed, and then let me just add plus 0x squared plus x minus 10 is equal to 0. Now, at this point now, the first thing we have to do is to find at least one factor of this equation. Okay, 1, 0. Let's call it a 0 of this equation. And what's a 0 of this equation? A 0 of this equation is a number which also substitutes for x to make this equation 0. Alright? So that number is, let's just pick 2. Okay? So if I use 2, if I substitute 2 here, you're seeing 2 cubed is 8 plus 0 times this thing is already 0 plus 2 minus 10, and this is equal to 0. Hence, we say that 2 is a 0. If 2 is a 0, it means that x is equal to 2, right? And if x is equal to 2, invariably means that x minus 2 would be equal to 0. And x minus 2 equal to 0 becomes a factor. Okay? And what do we know about factors? We know that when we have a factor, let's say for example, when we have 6, a factor of 6 is 2. If you multiply by another factor, 3, we get 6. Hence, invariably means if we divide a number by its factor, we will get the other factor that make up a multiple. Alright? So if you divide 6 by 2, we would get 3. And 3 is the other factor. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Now, having established this now, it means that if we divide this equation by this factor, we will get the remaining factors, and invariably we'll get the remaining zeros of this equation. Now, dividing this number by its factor, let's do it here. Now, dividing this number by its factor will be x minus 2. And then we have the equation to be x cubed plus 0x squared plus x minus 10. X into x cubed is x squared. X squared times this is x cubed minus 2x squared. We subtract, and we have positive 2x squared. We bring down this, so we bring down plus x, and then we have 2x squared into x is plus 2x. 2x times this is 2x squared minus 4x. Let's subtract again. We have plus 5x remaining. We bring down this again. We have minus 10. 5x into x is plus 5. 5 times x is 5x, and 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. To subtract, we have nothing left. Hence, at this point, we can write this whole given number as x minus 2 into x squared plus 2x plus 5. To get the remaining zeros, okay, we simply solve this quadratic equation. Solving this quadratic equation, we cannot solve it by factorization method because it doesn't have it's not factorizable, right? And by using the quadratic formula, we have b is 2, so we have minus 2 plus or minus, and this is equal to x, by the way, square root of 2 squared minus 4 times 1 is 4 times 5 is 20, that's 4ac, all over 2 times 1 is 2. So we have x to be equal to minus 2 plus or minus 2 squared is 4. So we have square root of 4 minus 20 all over 2. Now, we have this to be equal to minus 2 plus or minus square root of negative 16. Okay? Now, all over 2. Now, you agree with me that square root of negative 16 is equal to square root of negative 1 times square root of 16. And square root of negative 1 is I. So we have I root 16. And what is square root of 16? Square root of 16 is 4. So we have 4 times I. Okay? Now, we'll just replace this with 4 times I. This now becomes equal to minus 2 plus or minus 4I. Okay? All over 2. If 2 goes into this place, you have what? You have minus 1 plus or minus 2 into 4 is 2I. Okay? So this is the value of x. This invariably, from here we can conclude that x now has 3 answers. So the first answer we got for x is that x is equal to 2. So let me put that where they said that x is equal to 2, or x is equal to negative 1 plus 2I, or negative 1 minus 2I. Okay, so these are the values of x. I hope this made sense. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.